trying. All right, guys. It's Brian Littleton, and we got Ben Baker on live. It's 7 o'clock. We'll wait for a couple guys to jump on. Ben, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. We're just wide open trying to stay caught up.
Yeah, I know it's been busy. I hearing a lot of stuff out there. We'll wait here a minute. I can see how many's on live. We'll get a few on with us, and then we'll see if anybody's got any questions or anything. Yeah, you been off to any races lately?
I went to the King for the practice night, and then I did the Bristol race.
Yeah. Ben, look like we got some people jumping on now. Kind of talk to us a little bit about AFCO and Longacre and what your role is with both companies.
So for both companies, I do a tremendous amount of tech support. I'll do some order entry and taking care of some of the some of the bigger customers and even some chassis builders. But a lot of tech support, a lot of product development, working with vendors, working with purchasing, working with engineering, just a lot of different roles and a lot of different parts and pieces in the company.
Yeah, I know, Ben, I was trying to figure how many years we've been doing the Racelogic classes, about 6 or 7 probably.
Yeah, I think it's right at 7.
Yeah, I knew it'd been a long time. We started down in Texas, and then I think you've been about everyone with me. Been really good. I know if anybody's got any questions, they're welcome to ask Ben at any time. I can see them, and I don't know if he can, but I can post them. So if you guys got any questions, let me know. But I know the big question right now is guys struggling to get parts. How big an issue is that with you guys right now?
For us, as far as raw materials are concerned, we're really in pretty good shape. Our biggest hurdle is, we've definitely seen some, increase in sales and increase in demand. It's just getting those parts and pieces put together. There's just only so many hours in a day and so many people to work. So that's kind of our biggest hurdle is just time, really.
Right.
There's really, that I can think of off the top of my head, there's not any major raw material issues for us. I definitely have heard of a lot of raw material issues for chassis builders and different people like that, where it's getting hard to get a few different things. But
yeah, somebody put I need a load stick, Ben. So I'm sure that's something we talked about for you. We came on live. I know you guys sell a lot of load sticks, especially in the stock car world right now. You want to talk about that just a little bit?
Yeah, load sticks for the most part can get those pretty readily. I'll have some more ready to ship, I think, on Monday. So we definitely have some of those where we can get them out. But we have had quite a few people from the stock car class up in Nebraska call and order load sticks, and for a stock style, GM style front end, you're not going to find a better tool to work with. That's really the only way you can do a total suspension load and spring load and see what you have throughout the whole motion. And you can check for binds and things like that, but that load stick's probably one of the best tools you can have for a stock style front end.
Yeah, I know. We went over all that in the class in Nebraska, and that, I know there's a lot of questions. So,
let's
see. Yeah, I think. Can you read that question there? I ain't got my glasses on.
Said I already ordered it, just never came yet. Figured it was on back order. Yeah, there was some of those that shipped yesterday or day before last, so you should be seeing it pretty soon.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. So most parts you guys got now, y'all's pretty caught up on them, radiators, everything, brake parts.
No, we're back ordered on quite a few things right now, but it's not a raw material issue. It's just a matter of time. So we can definitely build them. It's just we're a few weeks out on some things if we're not in stock on them.
Right. Well,
so if we don't have it, we definitely have a lot of warehouses that has them. Performance, Speedway, Dave Motorsports, Motor State. They've pretty well got pretty decent stock of all of our radiators. So if there's anything that we may not have, we can certainly check with those guys and see if there's anything there.
Track them down. How busy has this year been one of your busiest years?
Yeah, by far. So far, it's been crazy.
Yeah, I'm hearing that a lot too. Is there any new trick parts out there this year? Anything cool that's coming?
From us, not really. We've kind of just been trying to play catch up for a lot of stuff, but there's always little things in the works. There's little things with shocks that we're always learning. So definitely some things coming later on in the year, but nothing real in the short term.
Right. We got a question posted there if you can read it.
Yep. So I want to order a new shock package. How long does it take to get that going? Well, it depends on if what you're looking for is in stock right now or not. If it's not in stock, it's about 3.5 weeks to get that built.
Okay.
But so it like I said, depends on if it's what exactly it is. There's a lot of things that we do have in stock or that we can switch over real quick. So
right.
You can give me a call and we'll get you taken care of.
You guys, you build, I mean, I know you got, shelf shocks, and then you also do custom builds too. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. So our, off the shelf shocks, there's a certain tolerance that we keep on those, and it's no different than what we try to keep on our custom built stuff. It's just like, if we've got a guy that wants to, our standard right front, let's say, is a 3.8, and he wants something with a little bit more low speed than a 3.8, then we can custom build that to tailor to that. So, just be aware that if you're doing a custom like that, it's definitely going to take a little longer to do it.
Right. What about on the long acre side? I know y'all just purchased them in the last 2 years, probably. Is that right?
Been about 3 years now.
3 years. I know that's been a big part of y'all's business. Got a lot going on there. I know some.
Yeah.
I think you showed some new gauge panels and stuff maybe this year. I know there's a lot of questions about that.
Yeah. The new gauges have been going real well. The stepper motor and the digital stuff. One of the nice things with that is they're completely waterproof. You can pressure wash them, you can submerge them. They're completely sealed, where a lot of the gauges on the market are not that way. So it definitely has eliminated a lot of issues that those gauges had. It wasn't just the Longacre brand, it was all the other brands as well. There's none of them is waterproof. So there's a lot of inherent issues that we basically uncovered when we got a hold of Longacre, and we've been able to fix that on our end. But that gauge line has been very, very good for us.
Here we go, Ben. Here's just a kind of a comment, I guess.
I appreciate it. Yeah. It's I've been doing this for a long, long time. I've had some great people that helped educate me and mentor me along the way. So I've seen a lot of different things. So
yeah, well, like I tell everybody that Racelogic wouldn't be where it's at without you helping us over the years. Definitely brought a whole nother side to racing, and you've always been willing to to help the racer, and you try to come to everyone I do, and it means a lot because as you've been through enough of these with me that anytime you can help a racer, that just makes the racing program better and less tore up cars and makes guys faster. So it's definitely been.
Yeah, I mean, I was a racer too, so there's a lot of things that I learned learned the hard way that been able to pass on, and there's things as we develop product that we learn that works and things that we learn that doesn't work. So anytime we can pass that information along and help someone either not have a bad night and tear up a bunch of stuff, or help them go faster, it's always fun to help people.
I got a funny question here, I guess. The guy says, does AFCO make a water pump?
So there's a little bit of an inside joke on that one. I guess we were carrying a water pump for some time that I had no idea that we even had. So actually I looked it up in our system, and we did carry a water pump, but we discontinued it on our end in 2010. But I think Speedway still has some of that water pump with our branding on it.
Okay. I figured that was a little inside joke there.
Yeah.
What's your schedule over the next few months? You fixing to get on the road again?
Yeah, I'm actually home here until next Sunday, and then I've got to go to the office for a few days to do some tech videos and things like that we need to do. And then I've got a trip into Dakotas I've got to do, and then let's see, I'm sure I'll do a couple of weeks somewhere in May and June and July. But I know July gets pretty busy with a 4th being in there, and then we do that Dakota Tour, and then trying to get geared up and do the Street Stock Nationals this year. We're planning on taking our shock trailer and everything down to that. I got a drag race I got to go work next month. So.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't realize you do all forms of racing, not really just dirt racing. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, I've been involved since I've been at AFCO, anything from, airboats to road course cars to parking lot cars to drag cars to mud buggies. I mean, you name it. We've kind of been involved with a lot of different things.
Here's a question, Ben. I know the answer, but I'll let you answer it.
So where is home for me? I live in central Missouri. I live just north of Columbia, right in dead center of the state.
How far are you away from AFCO? About 3 hours or so?
No, AFCO's about 5.
About 5 hours?
Yeah, it's about 5 hours.
Ben, I've already had people asking about next year. We had such a huge success with the Craig Lake model class and with all the classes really. And, I've had a lot of people asking about next year, and it's so early now, it's hard to get anything planned, but, we'll definitely be back on the Craig Lake model deal. I think that was just such a great class.
Yeah, that was a great class.
Yeah, it was. And I'm sure it'll be back out east again somewhere. I don't know yet. I got a couple of things in mind, but we'll definitely be there. With PRI starting back and some of the other races, it's going to be a little tougher to find dates, but we'll definitely find one somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm assuming PRI will probably happen, don't you?
At this point, I don't see why it won't.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And I know most places already opened up, so I have a feeling that it should be full bore ahead.
Yeah, I think it'll still be a little bit different, I think, but I think it'll definitely be there.
We'll see if anybody else has got any question. We still got quite a few people on. If anybody's got anything for Ben, be sure and send it in. We'll get him to answer it real quick on parts or problems or anything that you're having. We'll try to get him to answer them. I know Ben's busy, so it's, I appreciate him coming on for, 30 minutes.
I'm going back out and working for about another 4 hours doing rebuilds. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, you do a lot of the shock rebuilds yourself, don't you?
Yeah, I have been since since the whole pandemic deal. We've just been, one, very busy, and two, a little short on manpower. So it's actually helped. It's helped us, company wise for me to be able to do some of that. There's one of our other employees that does some of that too at home, and one, it lets me see some shocks that have been out in the field for years and see if there's potential problems or if there is problems altogether that has arose to where we can get them taken care of. Yeah,
I'm sure that is a big thing when you getting to see all of them out there.
Yeah.
Ben, if guys want to get a hold of you, what's the best way to reach you personally? I know,
Yeah, best way is my cell phone. I mean, okay. I don't mind giving it out. It's a work phone. It's my, it is my work cell phone number, and you can text me or call me. Usually, I'll usually try to answer back up till like 10 o'clock at night. So, and I can give that number, or Brian can do it, or whatever.
Yeah, if you want to give that number out, Ben, for anybody listening, okay. And I'll put it up later too, in case guys got want it.
Okay, it's 812-550-4491.
Okay, and that's for anybody wanting to buy parts or got a tech question. I tell everybody, I know you work a lot of hours, but try to keep it 8 to 5 if possible. Or maybe shoot him a text or something, and he'll get back with you, because I know you probably take 50 phone calls a day, I bet, or something.
Yeah, at least.
So I know you can, if you just text him or call and let him know that you seen it on here, or you went to one of the classes or something, that usually helps too. So he kind of knows who he's dealing with. What about some of the big upcoming races? Ben, you're gonna be at some of them. I know there's a lot of late model races. At the end of the year's big IMC stock car deal at Batesville. We got a lot of stuff going on this year. Looks like.
Yeah, that Batesville stuff. The modified and the stock car deal. I'm scheduled to be at. And of course, the Super Nationals and Wasota 100 and the Fall Jamboree and Mod Mania and all that stuff. I'm planning on being at. That Street Stock Nationals down at Why Not? Plan on being down there for that. That's the big ones right now that I have. Oh, the Dakota Tour out in North Dakota. I've done that for a few years now. I really enjoy going out there. If it works out right, I may go to Oregon for that West Coast deal that they had a few years and then had to cancel it last year. But so I'll probably go out and do that, and then the duel in the desert. So it'll be pretty busy. It usually gets busier towards the latter half of the year.
Right. And there was just a comment. One of the guys in the class in Nebraska, just thanking you again for what you taught them, and that, I know it means a lot to you and to me with Racelogic and AFCO too. That's why they keep being a part of what I'm doing, because it brings value to everybody for sure.
Yeah, that class we did in Nebraska, that was really, really well attended. We had a lot of good questions out of there. That class kind of broke the mold a little bit from question standpoint, because usually you only get about 2 or 3 people that ask all the questions. In that class, we had, I'd say, half the people ask some type of question. And then as far as we passed out a ton of certificates in all the classes, and that one there by far has redeemed the most of them for sure.
That's good stuff. And off the subject a little bit, I had a guy ask me here if I thought about using a different instructor for the stock car class with a lot of the USRA guys, and Ben knows this answer. I mean, what I tell everybody, there's a lot of smart guys out there, but to get up in front of 60, 70 guys and try to present a 12-hour course, it's hard. I mean, not everybody can do that.
Well, if you take like the USRA stuff, versus the IMCA stuff, there's really not that much difference in the cars. And for, Mike does an excellent job at teaching that class. There's a lot, you can't argue with the fact of how many wins and how many Super Nationals and how many national championships that guy's won. And he can get up there and he can talk to people and help them understand it and do it in a way that, gets all the information out there that you need to do without overcomplicating it. And, like you said, that's not trivial. I mean, it's not easy to get a guy that can get up there and talk and give that kind of information that Mike does for those stock car guys that, you're not going to find very many people that's any better than that.
No, and that's the whole deal. Me and you've talked 100 times about, different guys, different instructors, and, and this, a lot of guys just don't want to give out anything. I mean, there's guys in racing that want to keep it to themselves, and I get that, and me and you've talked, and from day one, when I started this, I said, I don't want it to be a sales pitch, and I want to make sure guys are giving out good information. And if they're not, I just soon not do it. It ain't doing me no good or anybody involved any good if you got somebody up there, telling you how to set your, caster and camber. I mean, everybody knows how to do that. So if you're not going to give out good information, then we definitely want to be a part of it. So,
I mean, I think, we've had, what have we had? Maybe a dozen different instructors since I've been helping you. And, the guys that we had this year, I still think are, some of the best that we've had in those classes.
Yeah, I agree with you for sure. Mike does a great job, and Wade's come a long ways, and he's really done a better job at that. And then Justin McCree's always gave out everything he's ever learned, and that's what I've always respected about him. And then Matt and Chip and Robbie this year. I mean, man, and Steve Hendren. Golly, I mean, I just don't know. There ain't a better lineup in that crate late model world than them guys for sure.
No, that crate late model class, I don't think there's anybody in the country you can find any better than those guys.
Yeah, for sure. And then here's a guy commented and said he'll be running a set of AFCO shocks first time this season. So that's good
Good
news.
deal. Yep.
Always looking, and Ben will tell you the same thing, that Ben has never came to one of my classes and pushed the AFCO product. I mean, I've heard him tell guys, hey, this other part's just as good or better, and that's something
Yep.
I've always respected because AFCO don't pay me a dime, and Ben will tell you the same thing. I mean, they do it to help the racers. They give away, I think, what did we say, about $13,000 in gift certificates this year or something like that?
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of companies that build a lot of good products out there, and I mean there's certainly some different things that that we do compared to other companies, but those classes are more about educating people on getting the right parts and going fast and not having issues. So like Brian said, if there's something that someone else makes that I feel is a good product, I mean, I'm not scared to tell you that it's a good product.
Yeah, and that's definitely been a big thing why we've been doing this for a long time, because you've always tried to give out good information, and people respect that. They don't want to be up there just to be sold a certain set of shocks to go fast, or whatever the latest greatest part is. I mean, I know there've been a lot of classes in the country that's tried to do that, and I've always tried to steer away from that. So that's definitely been good.
Yep.
I'm reading one here. This guy that asked me, and I know who it is. He was just talking about he's been to 3 classes with Mike, and he said he's just I squeezed out every bit of information I can out of Mike. He was just looking for somebody else or something else. And man, you never know. Maybe we bring somebody in with Mike. I don't know. I don't know what the future holds, but he just does such a good job, and it's just hard to try something brand new that you don't know if it's going to work or not.
Yeah.
So I know guys always want to learn more and more and more, and I get that. And that's why they keep coming back, because there's always something new to learn. But we'll keep trying. You never know who we might bring in, but Ben can tell you, you get up in front of 50, 60 people. You've done a long time, though. I mean, we've seen guys lock up, and just can't even speak. So, and I think Wade, I'm sure Wade's listening in. And, he was that way the first couple of times. He's like, man, I didn't even know what to say. And I got up there. You got 100 eyes looking on you.
I mean, if you've ever had any kind of speech classes in college or high school or anything like that, I mean, it's just the same way. It's pretty nerve wracking when you first do it.
Yeah, because you got guys throwing questions at you, and you're trying to teach. And I mean, like I said, there's a lot goes into it. There's a lot of material and just a lot of back stuff that And I think with us adding the big screen TVs this year was a huge deal, where guys could, and all the cameras. I think that really helped us, don't you, Ben?
Yeah, that, and the microphones were, when somebody would ask a question, everybody could hear it, and I mean, it worked out well.
Yeah, definitely. And then the online version has been really big this year and last. Not everybody can go, and I get that. And it's hard to find the weekends to go. So people can still buy it online, and they see everything. Kate does a good job of filming that deal.
I still vote for next year we go to Mexico or somewhere warm.
Yeah, if you remember,
that deal in Nebraska was a little rough.
Yeah, if you remember, Robert said if he goes back with me, there's got to be some numbers in front of that 0. It can't just be 0. He said he wanted a little bit warmer climate, but yeah, that's what you run into. You only really have January, February to do these classes, and then January. It's hard because of PRI and everything. I mean, there's so much going on.
Really, it's getting more to where January is about it. February starts off, speed weeks, and then you've got that Lone Star Stock Car Tour that people get involved with now. And I mean, there's a lot of things there that goes on. Even in January now, you've got last week of January start speed weeks in Florida, and then you got Ice Bowl like the first week of January. So it kind of gets all cluttered up anymore.
Yeah, I know. And then I had to work with y'all's schedule, and it's hard because Ben's gone a lot. And, I always tell Ben this too. I ask y'all guys early in the year if you'll come. That way you commit to it, and then we get closer, you came back out on me. So I always try to do it early. So I make sure that everybody agrees to it, But hopefully we can do another stock car class in the Midwest somewhere for sure. And we're talking about the East Coast. That's somewhere we ain't really hit that I think we need to go back to. There's a lot of guys out there really wanting to come out there. So hopefully we can get back in that East
Coast. I hope we can
area.
get another micro class in this year. That was a really good class that we did last year.
Yeah, I talked to Frank Flood, which a lot of y'all guys don't deal with the open wheel stuff, but man, he done a great class, and we're definitely going to do that again, Ben. I've talked to him a couple of times this year. With with COVID gone now, we'll be able to do that.
Yep.
Excuse me. So we'll be back in Oklahoma doing some of the micro sprint deal. That's really big out in this part of the country, as you know.
Yep.
And of course, they race some in Illinois. I think even out on the East Coast, there's a lot of them out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of them up in the Northeast.
Yeah. Guy said, come to North Dakota. It's always warm up there.
In July and August, maybe.
Yeah, no doubt about that. But like I said, Ben, I do appreciate you coming on and spending a little time and talking to guys. I was going to see if anybody had any last minute questions before we jump off, but it's always good to get you on here, and we'll definitely be back this year bigger and better, and we'll keep doing these classes and trying to help racers, for sure. You still with me there, Ben?
Yep.
Okay. So there's nothing new. There's nothing new going on right now in the racing parts world. What is a parts that's really hard to get, whether it's y'all's or somebody else's? Can you? I mean, that's a lot of guys had questions. That's why I want to get you on.
Yeah, I've heard seatbelts are hard to get right now because the latch that a lot of people use is made by one company and they don't have any. So I've heard that's hard to get. Chromoly is hard to get. What does it say? Will you be messing with any factory stock stuff during? Yeah, I will be. Okay. I'll have some stuff down there to work on. Chromoly, DOM tubing, stuff like that. I've heard from a lot of people that's hard to get a hold of. Rear end hubs, like a 9-inch and quick change rear end hubs, I've heard is really, really hard to get a hold of for some reason. I've heard of different, I've heard of crate engines hard to get a hold of. I've heard of different engine parts hard to get a hold of. It just seems to be pieces here and there throughout the whole industry for whatever reasons hard to get a hold of.
Yeah, I'm hearing the same thing. I'm going to try to get Steve Hendren on with Hendren Racing Engines here in the next few weeks because there's so much of that world right now.
I know one part I actually had a discussion about today was the 3-piece spindles. I talked to Kevin at Speedway, and there's steering arms and stuff that actually just showed up yesterday that's going straight in machining to get those things back going again. They do have some complete spindle kits on the shelf, but the individual like steering arms and things like that they've been out of. So you may have to buy a whole kit to get the parts and pieces you need, but there is some of them readily available at Speedway for the 3-piece spindles. Okay. And then the steering arm should be back available next week.
Steering arms, okay.
From what Kevin was saying.
I think we'll follow up here. Last thing, I know you talked about coming to Street Stock Nationals. I know you've been last year. Mm-hmm. It's probably one of the biggest events in the South, and I think they're changing the format this year, so should be a lot more racer and fan friendly with just 2 classes.
Yeah, hopefully we can get out there by midnight instead of at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Right. So you're going to try to bring the trailer this year and do some shock stuff.
Yeah, that's the plan. Is bring the trailer down. It'll probably me and Rex Merritt come down and work on that.
That'd be good. Well, Ben, I've probably took all the time I can take of yours up right now. We'll get you back on here in a month or so when you're back out and about and seeing what's going on in the racing, see if there's anything new. And I appreciate you coming on and what you do for Racelogic.
Okay, no problem. Appreciate it.
All right, Ben. Thank you, sir.
See you.